A terrifying moment as a popular podcaster is attacked at gunpoint. It happened as he streamed live on YouTube.
You want to go right now?
It was pretty much just pure shock.
Adam Grandmason, who hosts the weekly hip-hop podcast No Jumper, says at first he thought the stick-up was a prank.
The hee-hee that I let out is just this bizarre, nervous reaction, I guess, because I just couldn't, at that moment, I couldn't imagine that this was seriously happening. It felt like it was a joke.
John Felix Anthony Cena Jr., nato il 23 aprile 1977, è un wrestler professionista, attore e conduttore televisivo statunitense. Ha raggiunto la fama in WWE, diventando 16 volte campione del mondo e una delle superstar più riconoscibili dell'azienda. Oltre alla lotta libera, Cena ha recitato in film come The Marine, 2006, Trainwreck, 2015, e Fast and Furious 9 2021 ed è stato conduttore di programmi come Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Fuori dal set è noto per il suo impegno con la Make-A-Wish Foundation, avendo esaudito oltre 650 desideri di bambini affetti da gravi malattie.
Poured in. He let the streets into his castle and the streets spoke back. One post read, another lamented, "This is why you always have security, Adam." Others called for retaliation, urging him to recruit tougher guests or beef up his squad. Quieter moments, Adam has reflected on the irony. In an unguarded remark to a close friend, he confided, "I built this empire on authenticity, but I never wanted reality to punch me in the face so literally." The line between content and consequence has never felt more blurred. Behind the scenes, the No Jumper team is conducting a full review. Cameras will be repositioned, entry protocols tightened, and medical staff kept on standby for future recordings. Assault has forced a reckoning, how to preserve the show's raw energy without sacrificing safety. Meanwhile, Famous Richard's camp has offered no formal response, stoking further speculation. Some whisper that the two men
other person and then showing up with 30 people and thinking that's okay and you're gonna get let in. I would never understand that. Well, the conversation developed. They start telling Lush, "Hey, bruh, if Adam is telling you that we can, well, bring Adam outside, bruh. Bring him outside, bruh." And Lush is trying to settle this, bruh, because, No Jumper sent Lush outside. They told Lush, "Hey, bruh, this is your problem. You created this problem. You got to go outside and fix this problem and get them to leave."
I get it, yeah,
Then share a deeper history, that old grudges simmered beneath the surface until this electrifying blow-by-blow brought them into the open. Whether this was a calculated ambush or an unplanned eruption remains part of the mystery driving millions to watch and rewatch every frame. For Adam22, the path forward is fraught, heel too visibly, and he risks being perceived as weak. Respond too aggressively, and he could cross a line that alienates sponsors and casual viewers alike. His next moves will be watched as closely as the viral footage itself. Will he double down on the street credibility that brought him here, or pivot toward caution and restraint? One thing is certain, this isn't the final act. Rumors swirl of a sit-down special, a deep dive episode where Adam22 will dissect the incident in front of the lens, answer burning questions, and perhaps extend a truce or challenge to Famous Richard. The YouTube comments are already buzzing. "I'm here for the live apology" versus "I want revanche on PPV." As the dust settles on the studio floor, No Jumper's future hangs in the balance. The brand that thrived on unscripted intensity now faces a turning point. Will it harness this frenzy to reach new heights, or will the risk of real-life violence overshadow its flair for edgy interviews? If you've been on the fence about diving into the No Jumper world, there's never been a more dramatic entry point. Subscribe to my YouTube channel now for exclusive breakdowns, behind-the-scenes insights, and real-time updates on this unfolding story. You won't want to miss what happens next. Lights flickered and cameras rolled as the No Jumper studio transformed into a battlefield of raw emotion and unfiltered reality, capturing an explosive.
And he came with 100 people. And that was a major issue, especially taking into consideration the last time Travis Ford was in the building, he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Adam22 dropped surveillance footage of Travis Ford apparently going into a room that no guest should be in, is a room that's cut off from everybody, is a room that only Adam is supposed to be in. and they caught Travis Ford taking merch out the room. He crept in,
moment when boundaries were shattered and safety protocols ignored. This is the untold story behind the viral knockout, a saga of risk, authenticity, and the thin line between cultural respect and chaos. When the infamous footage of Adam22 crashing to the floor went viral, fans were left reeling at the sheer unpredictability of live podcast culture. Behind the scenes, the incident exposed glaring gaps in guest vetting and security measures that no one saw coming. Just days after the scuffle, Adam admitted in an Instagram live session, "I thought we had it covered. We had a simple checklist, ID, background chat, handshake, but nothing prepared us for that level of spontaneity." His voice trembled as he recounted the moment he realized that an impromptu brawl wasn't just a sensational clip, it was a wake-up call about how dangerously thin the margin for error really is. In studios around the world, producers are taking note. The incident underscores the urgent need for rigorous protocols at every stage. From comprehensive background research on guests and their affiliations to deploying trained security personnel who know how to de-escalate conflicts before they explode. Yet no, Jumper's ethos has always been rooted in spontaneity, the promise of raw, unfiltered content that keeps millions of subscribers glued to their screens. By design, Adam22 cultivates an atmosphere where guests feel free to speak without a filter, but this freedom comes with real-world consequences. In the aftermath, Adam confessed, "I hesitated to bring in professional security because I was afraid it would kill the vibe. I realize now that vibe almost killed me." Balancing that delicate tension between authenticity and control has long been the show's signature.
Really what a reasonable expectation would be. So yeah, Lush is probably wrong for not really alerting everybody that Travis Ford was going to be there with some homies. But I think Lush was planning on saying, "Hey, bro, you pull up with two or three homies, cool, it's no big deal. You can just walk in with me and chill in the back and maybe get on the news." Lush was not expecting you to bring 40 people, a band, 60 tacos, a cake, like that's a tad bit much. And I don't feel like we should put the onus on Lush for not predicting that Travis Ford was going to do this. Now, the reason why we have to put the blame on Lush is because it seemed like Lush was communicating but missed a lot of what Travis said. So while he was on stream, Travis was telling Lush, "Hey, I'm gonna bring this dude, I'm gonna bring this dude, we're gonna have a good time." So it feels like in Travis' own way, he was letting Lush know he was gonna come deep, but Lush wasn't catching on.
I saw the issue. I need my asada fries.
Fans praise No Jumper for pushing past the polished veneer of mainstream media, allowing underground artists and street figures to tell their stories uncensored. But as the LA sun set on that fateful recording, it became clear that true authenticity demands more than open mics and warm welcomes. It demands foresight and safeguards that preserve both the excitement and the safety of everyone involved. In a candid moment captured on a follow-up story, Adam mused, "There's power in unpredictability, but there's also risk. I'm learning." That authenticity isn't about having zero rules. It's about creating a space where real talk happens without real harm. Meanwhile, the scuffle reverberates far beyond studio walls, shaking the fragile alliances that underpin LA's street communities. No Jumper has long positioned itself as a bridge between disparate groups, East Side and West Side, Crips and Bloods, hosting peace talks and track-recorded hood gatherings under the guise of content creation, but inviting these dynamics into a space without full cultural insight proved perilous. After review, Adam acknowledged, "I grew up on the internet, I didn't grow up on these streets. I underestimated what it meant to bring those histories under one roof." His admission rippled through local circles, prompting debates over whether a media platform can ever truly serve as an impartial mediator, or if it inevitably becomes a provocateur. Cultural insiders point out that territorial etiquette runs deep, woven through decades of community history and rivalry. In inviting anyone who asked, No Jumper inadvertently breached unspoken codes of respect and protocol. What began as a promise to give every voice a platform morphed into an
wakes up with some type of revelation that Lush done effed up too badly to bring back. Bro, we might see a second crash out tomorrow. But what I would disagree with when it comes to Adam is saying that he don't believe it's the guys who pull up fault, is Lush's fault entirely. Is Lush fault? Yes. Right? Especially after the leaked video came out, it's Lush's fault for sure. But I'm not taking the blame off the dudes who pull up. I'm not taking the blame off Travis Ford. If somebody invites you, even if they say, "Hey, bruh, you can bring a couple of people," I don't think that person's expectation is you're going to come with 40 people. You're going to come with cake. You're going to come with 60 tacos. You're going to come with a whole production crew. You're going to come with mics to film a music video. Like, I don't think that person's expectation would be you're going to turn a no jumper facility into your hood day.
Uncontrolled clash of loyalties and egos. Sources close to the show revealed that tensions had been simmering, old grudges, battles over turf, and demands for recognition, yet producers missed the cues. Post-incident, Adam22 vowed to bring cultural advisors into the fold, saying, "We need people who understand the unspoken language of these streets, who can guide us through negotiations and tell us when a handshake isn't enough." As this chapter of No Jumper's history unfolds, it forces the question, can a media brand built on breaking rules learn to live within new ones? Industry experts suggest a hybrid approach, combining the adrenaline of live interview formats with robust safety nets. They propose tiered security protocols tailored to each guest's background, mandatory cultural briefings for staff, and on-call. Conflict mediators ready to intervene at the first sign of tension. For Adam, who built his empire on a shoestring budget and a DIY spirit, this represents a paradigm shift. In a reflective post this week, he admitted, "I started this to spotlight unheard stories, to chase authenticity. Now I see authenticity needs a backbone of responsibility." Despite the blow to his jaw and to the show's image, Adam22 remains defiant in his pursuit of unfiltered dialogue. He's already begun planning a special episode, no live audience, with pre-interviews and a team of advisors ensuring every participant's background is vetted and every tension point addressed. He teased the idea on Twitter Spaces. "We're going dark to go deeper. No flashy stunts. Just real talk, but with the right guardrails." Critics will watch closely. Will this controlled format dampen the raw edge that made No Jumper a phenomenon?
They thought that this was all good. I blame Lush. So Lush is now on a 1-week suspension. I don't even know. Honestly, I'm so pissed off that 1 week of a suspension does not really seem like enough. But I just want to say to anybody who felt like they had their time wasted today and all that shit, it didn't have anything to do with us. If you are on the No Jumper schedule, you're supposed to be coming in. Trust me, there's an actual process to it. You will speak to somebody that is going to give you the information. And there's a cap. You could pull up with like 3 people. You can't pull up with 40 people. It's not happening. So I can't really even blame anybody who pulled up. I can only blame Lush because this is just insane.
It looks like No Jumper may be down 1 employee because they saying Lush One is suspended, but Adam is saying, I don't think a week suspension is good enough. If Adam goes to bed
on, or will it prove that real grit can coexist with real safety? Outside the studio, discussions continue about the broader implications for digital content platforms. As social media giants tighten policies around violence and live streaming, platforms like YouTube and TikTok face pressure to hold creators accountable. Advertisers are already scrutinizing brand alignments. Some have paused deals pending reviews of No Jumper's incident response. In response, Adam22 released a statement affirming his commitment to upholding the highest standards of guest safety and community respect, while pledging to never sacrifice the realness our audience demands. This tension between commercial viability and subculture authenticity mirrors the very conflicts that played out in the studio brawl. On one hand, sponsors demand predictability and reputation management. On the other, core fans crave uncut reality, unfiltered passion, and yes, occasional sparks of chaos. No Jumper sits at the crossroads of these forces. Adam22 faces a choice: lean into the unpredictability that defined his rise, risking further controversy, or evolve into a more structured platform, potentially losing the guerrilla spirit that set him apart. In personal conversations captured by close confidants, Adam confided, "This is bigger than me. It's about whether we can keep pushing culture forward without burning ourselves down." That raw honesty resonates with viewers who have cheered him on since the early days of uploading shaky webcam interviews. Many express that the scuffle, while shocking, is part of the show's DNA, proof that No Jumper doesn't sanitize reality for comfort, yet others warn that one misstep away from
out here. Oh man, we ain't nothing but
Hey, cuz, check it out, Trav. Yeah, Adam ain't fucking you today, cuz. So this what we gonna do, cuz. You gonna take your crew, y'all gonna get the here. We gonna try it again next time. We gonna try to get my boy, you my boy, but Adam ain't fucking you. So y'all gotta get up out of here, cuz he done Man, it's all bad. Yeah, cuz y'all trespassing at this point, cuz. You gotta go. Damn!
Can I ride with y'all? And this ain't out to whack, cuz. No jumper, nigga. Fuck Adam, nigga. Fuck Lush, cuz. Nigga, y'all invited us here, bro. Niggas spent a lot of money to be here and bring gifts and drop the mics and video man, cuz. So y'all wanna play with us, cuz? Y'all gotta get the fuck out of LA, nigga.
I'm not from LA. I don't understand the culture. My only question would be, why will the East Side and the West Side link up at No Jumper for peace? Aren't there better places?
Sensationalism risks crossing into liability that could shutter the entire operation. As the saga continues, one certainty remains: the world will be watching. Whether you're a diehard fan or a cautious observer, the next No Jumper episodes will reveal how a pioneering platform navigates its greatest crisis yet. Will it emerge stronger, with newfound respect from the streets and sponsors alike? Or will this moment of violence redefine its identity, turning raw authenticity into a cautionary tale of bravado without boundaries? For now, the cameras are off, but the questions are only growing louder. What role will cultural custodians play in shaping future content? How will industry norms around safety adapt to the demands of real-time dialogue? And can a host who once feared rules learn to embrace them without losing the spark that made him a trailblazer? The answer lies ahead in episodes yet to be filmed, in security meetings yet to convene, and in community discussions yet to conclude. No Jumper stands at its most critical juncture, a brand forged in the fires of unfiltered expression, now tasked with forging new armor. As we await the next chapter, one thing is clear: Adam22's story is far from over, and the world will be watching every unfiltered second. If you want the inside story as it breaks, the deep dives, the uncut interviews, and the real-time reactions, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for exclusive updates. Your front row seat to every twist and turn is just one click away. Explosive chaos erupts as Adam22's legendary No Jumper studio transforms into the ultimate battleground, sending shockwaves through the podcast world and igniting a firestorm of controversy.
Adam22 responds back to the Crips banning No Jumper from LA. This situation is crazy. If you aren't already tapped in with the situation, let's do a quick recap. So Lush One invited this guy by the name of Travis Ford to No Jumper to come and do the news. Travis Ford took that as an invitation to bring 100 people with him. So 100 Crips showed up with cake, with tacos, with an open mic, a production crew, and Adam is like, yo, what's going on? Lush One never told us about this. We ain't know 100 you guys were supposed to be here. Y'all can't come in, bro. This is too much. So then Travis Ford and who he was with, they proceeded to say F No Jumper, and No Jumper is banned from LA because they couldn't come in and podcast with No Jumper.
Adam, scary ass. Let us in, cuz.
Travis Ford, cuz, what's going on, cuz?
Stop playing. Lush invited us.
No!
Nigga, y'all gonna be gang and culture, cuz, until the whole.
Prepare for an insider's breakdown of alliances shattered and sponsors trembling as we dive into the fight that could redefine digital media forever today. From the rubble of microphones and toppled chairs emerges a stark lesson in the fragility of sponsorship and monetization. Major advertisers have little tolerance for televised violence, as evidenced by the advertiser exodus that followed the recent boycott of the Ingraham angle. Within days, 15 companies pulled their ads, and average spot rates plunged by more than 50%. In the wake of Adam22's onstage knockout, brands that once clamored to align with No Jumper's edgy authenticity are now pausing negotiations, citing concerns over brand safety and unpredictability. Yet the allure of viral drama still holds sway. Research shows that podcast advertising revenues are projected to nearly double from 2022 to 2025, approaching $4 billion, fueled by advertisers eager to tap into engaged, loyal audiences. No Jumper must now balance the siren call of skyrocketing CPMs against the risk of appearing too volatile for mainstream partners. Beneath the glimmer of brand partnerships lies the darker undercurrent of guest dynamics and power. Plays, the viral clip of famous Richard's ambush on Adam22, captured by TikTok user A Viral Clips, and soaring into the millions of views overnight, hints at more than a spontaneous eruption of rage. Insiders whisper of long-held grudges and shifting alliances within LA's underground, where respect effect is demanded. An ode in equal measure, Richard's sudden lunge executed with surgical precision speaks to a meticulously planned challenge to Adam22's authority, a declaration.
And he says, yo, he brought a production crew, he brought a mic stand, he brought party gifts, he brought a cake, tacos. So they already had this thing planned out to where they were going to have essentially a hood day at No Jumper, a party, and the boss at No Jumper knew nothing about it. Now they claim that Lush invited them, but Lush invited them to come and podcast, not to come and have parties, not to come and do a music video, not to come and do a peace congregation with multiple gangs. So when this came out, Adam decided that he wanted to respond back to really explain what happened and his side of things. Because what it looks like Lush One was trying to get them in, but Adam was the big bad guy who said, yo, y'all can't come in. And he was the one who wasted people's time. Adam wanted to explain that he ain't waste nobody's time, that it was Lush One's fault.
Okay, so I'm going to speak on the situation that happened today. Basically, like, I don't know,
that in this ecosystem of influence and loyalty, no one is safe from retribution. As tensions simmer, every handshake and back-channel text reveals allegiances that could make or break careers, illustrating the delicate chess game at the heart of street culture's relationship with digital media. Confronted with fractured sponsorships and simmering feuds, No Jumper finds itself at a strategic crossroads. Industry experts advise that a hybrid model, melding unfiltered conversation with structured safeguards, may be the only path forward. Podcast monetization guides stress the importance of demonstrating reliability to sponsors while preserving the raw authenticity that built the brand. Techniques like tiered security protocols and pre-interview cultural briefings can ensure both safety and spontaneity. At stake is more than viewership, it's the very identity of No Jumper. Will Adam22 double down on the fight-or-flight energy that fueled his meteoric rise? Or will he pivot toward a controlled format that reassures advertisers and insiders alike? The answer will determine whether No Jumper evolves into a polished powerhouse or becomes a cautionary tale of bravado unmoored from responsibility. The next chapter of this saga promises unprecedented access to the inner workings of digital media as he would. Wild frontier, from multi-million-dollar ad deals hanging in the balance to clandestine alliances within LA's most notorious crews. The stakes have never been higher. Be the first to witness every calculated move and explosive revelation as they unfold. Subscribe to my YouTube channel now to secure your front row seat to No Jumper's defining moments and stay ahead of the story that's rewriting the rules of podcast culture.